Alright, hello everybody! Hello Apparition Noise, Armagus T, and Luca! It's okay, you just made it in time. Welcome back to Rose Guns Days. Last time, we were able to defeat Caleb and Miguel and really had a nice resolution for every single one of our characters. Really, I can't think of a single thing that's unresolved at this point. Because based on the framing story, it's not like, you know, they changed the situation that much. In Japan, you know, there's a force that protects the people, but it's not like they changed the world completely. There's just someone there to root for them. Hello, Guppy Force. Welcome to the stream. I have honestly no idea where the story's gonna go. It really just feels like it's gonna be like a sequel almost to Rose Guns Day starting now, so let's get back into it. And of course, for some reason, it always starts the line before. Night of Legend End. That's true, Luca, but I mean, it seems like all the characters have completed like their character arcs. It's really fascinating. I have no idea what the story's gonna do at this point. I am feeling a lot better, Apparition. Thank you. I am still not at 100%, but we're like 95 to 99%.
Thank you for waiting, Hayashibara-sama.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're generic.
Thank you for waiting, Hayashibara-sama. This way, please.
The young man guided me. Oh, this is Rose. The young man guided me to a luxurious Japanese-style room. I knew what it was like to see a tea room in a cultural exhibit. But this was the first time I'd seen one and actually used to someone's house. Nope, no more of that, Luca. I suppose if I want to really authentically voice a male character, I just have to get sick again. In modern Japan, Japanese-style rooms in actual use were extremely rare. It goes without saying, but modern Japan is a cosmopolitan state. You hear some background noise? Is the volume okay for everybody? In other words, it's a state with a mix of races and cultures, but with no characteristic Japanese culture of its own. However, though the Japanese have become such a minority now, up until the 1970s. Oh, Luca, I was just kidding. I'm sorry. No, I would never get sick on purpose. There's been somewhat of a boom of Japanese culture, possibly out of curiosity. At the turn of the century, a neighborhood movement sprang up among Japanese people who had emigrated. Is anyone else hearing that static sound that Oa's is talking about? I'll see what I can do. Hello, professional procrastinator. According to them, Japanese culture should be condemned, since it's tied to pre-war Japan, and therefore likely to stir up fear in other Asian countries. As they became more of a minority, they struck the... why did for me. They struck the final blow against Japanese culture, which now lacked a successor. If I were to add what Madame Jean would surely say, other people started the problem. But it was us Japanese who struck the final blow. Portion of Japanese senators who wanted immigrant votes voiced their support for this. They stepped forward to take out the flag on expelling Japanese culture. Oh wow, that's kind of sad. Still, it's so interesting from this point of view. I mean, they had Japanese culture tied with pre-war Japan, which was very, very, very bad, like objectively. So, I mean, and unlike in the real world where it got a chance to recuperate and basically rebrand itself and just apologize profusely for the war and completely stand as an ally with, you know, with America and other such countries against what it formerly stood for. Just like Germany, I get, as well. Although not as much, but yeah, similar to what Germany did. Here, they didn't even get a chance to reform because of the disaster and a lot of new people swept in. As a result, Japanese buildings across the country that have been protected as cultural assets had their funding cut and were demolished. Several traditional buildings that were once called vital cultural assets were torn down by heavy machinery. Japanese people stoned the wreckage of their ancestors' culture and spoke of the dawn of a new age, making the peace sign and showing off how cosmopolitan they were. Hello, Mystery Theater. That's happened for me too. On top of that, an unwritten rule began to grow, stating that Japanese-style design was inappropriate for public facilities. Just the other day, there was an uproar at the breaking-in ceremony of a nearby public office. Please tell me if anybody else hears any kind of static in the background. That's really troubling if so. The design on part of the wallpaper looked Japanese, so they were forced to redo it. So now it's customary to do everything in a Western style to avoid any fear of criticism. And in an era like that, it's probably safe to say that only Madame Jean could have built a Japanese-style mansion like this, right in the middle of Tokyo. To be honest, that was partly why I felt enormous pressure at being in an orthodox Japanese-style room like this. Is this your first time in a Japanese-style room? Didn't they have one at the Chinese-Japanese Cultural Missionary? Well, more or less. But I've never seen one so authentic. And, yes, to you it must look like a room where corrupt politicians plot their conspiracies. No, not at all, not at all. I would never. That was also right on the mark. It's because of this era's background. Yeah, the microphone, it was picking up some background earlier, but I jiggled the cord around a little and it seems fine now. Please tell me if it's okay now. because of the series' background. The Japanese room, a piece of Japanese culture, had an extremely negative image in modern times. These days, you would never see Japanese rooms except on TV dramas. And even then, it was always shown as a demon's abode, a place where the big villain pulled the strings of Japan's dark side. It's the same in video games. In RPGs and first-person shooters, it was normal for Japanese mansions to be the final stage, or for Japanese people to be the final boss. In Raging Quest, KOD, and Zombie Hazard. Interesting. Raging Quest, I guess that's Dragon Quest. KOD, I don't know what that's supposed to be, and Zombie Hazard is obviously supposed to be Biohazard, which is the Japanese title for Resident Evil. The mastermind was always Japanese. In the previous century, it was okay to have Germans and Russians as enemies too. But both countries have succeeded in diplomatic efforts, and now they never appeared as enemies in games. The Japanese are only popular inside games, and on this very day, hundreds of millions of gamers would get some pseudo-murder catharsis out of it. Though personally, I've gotten sick and tired of Japanese last bosses plotting a revival of the Empire. Oh wait, goddammit, this is Jean? Oh, fuck, I thought this was... I was a gamer myself. I was a bit overwhelmed at being guided to a room that looked like a final boss's lair. Without letting that faze me, I enjoyed a precious Japanese lunch. It's kind of sad that Japan never got to reform its image, like it did in our world. Out of it all, the sashimi was a particularly precious experience. Oh? Can young people these days not handle sashimi? Oh, please forgive me. I wouldn't mind if it were cooked, but raw fish is a bit scary to me. I knew that sashimi was a real culture that existed in old Japan. It was astounding. Just a mere half-century ago, Japan had had raw fish as part of its staple diet. How unsanitary. Meat that hasn't been cooked has killed the germs. It's just scary. Well, that's probably only for cheap fish. It probably doesn't apply to the ultra-luxury ingredients Madame Jean can get. The idea that sashimi is unsanitary is a mainlander's way of thinking. The continent is vast, so it takes several days to carry the fruits of the sea to the inland areas. That's why raw things go bad. Because of that, it became natural to cook it with fire after to fry it with oil. As a result, people had grown to assume that uncooked fish has gone bad and is therefore unsanitary. Is that so? Indeed it is. In an island nation like Japan, everywhere is close to the sea, so the fish we get are quite fresh. So there's no need to cook it and ruin the flavor. Now that you mention it, fruits like that. It's only natural that food freshly picked from a growing area would be delicious, without any processing. Exactly. So please, don't be afraid and have a bite. Having been told that, I had no choice but to eat it. I wasn't exactly Madame Jean's trusted friend. I was just a newspaper writer she had chosen. I wouldn't be surprised if Julie was like the descendant of Rose and Leo. I think that's what it might be leading up to eventually. I think that would be really cool if she was their descendant. It wasn't as though I got a stomachache from a little bit of raw meat. It's delicious! Aren't you going to use any soy sauce? Huh? Soy? Oh, so this black liquid is that soy sauce stuff. It's just really weird that she wouldn't know that, considering Chinese food uses soy sauce as well. Wasn't that the condiment used specifically for eating sashimi? I've heard the Japanese consumed a large quantity of it before the war. However, it's gone out of fashion and its public image is far from good now. If I recall, it had an extremely high salt content, and it could even cause blindness or lower body paralysis. She's too young to be their daughter, considering the year. She would have to be like their granddaughter or great-granddaughter at the least. It wasn't just unhealthy, it was a mysterious poison. I've always assumed it was some sort of edible poison used to kill all the germs sticking to raw fish. Isn't that how young people think of it these days? Right on the mark again. Hung my head apologetically. Well, putting poisons into food products is something that happens every day. Reused cooking oil, unsanitary filth, excessive pesticides and gross stimulants, and some such, and therefore modern Japanese people may be maintaining a well-balanced diet, but you see, in the past, the Japanese called soy sauce the drops of their soul, and could not do without it. How sad that it has become so disliked in a mere half century. Drops? The Japanese soul? That's right. Such a shame that someone like you, with Japanese blood in their veins, has never tasted soy sauce. There are various reasons for why soy sauce grew to be so disliked. Some rise in price, which kept it out of the hands of the common man, had a lot to do with it. But the soy sauce syndrome that began spreading after the war was also a large factor. The soy sauce syndrome? That's right. An urban legend. Putting soy sauce into your mouth could supposedly strike you blind and make your body become paralyzed. Of course, real soy sauce never did things like that. I've heard of crazy ass urban legends that are so pervasive, such as in Korea, they have an urban legend that has caused like products to actually be changed called fan death. And it's so crazy that they actually think that if you keep a fan on you in a room that's closed, that you'll die, the fan, which all it does is blow air on you, will cook you somehow. If you keep it in a closed room overnight. And they actually have timers on their fans in Korea set to go off. Like, seriously. Urban legends can be so absolutely bonkers. Of course, real soy sauce never did things like that. However, many chemicals harmful to the human body were used in the fake soy sauce that started making the rounds after the war. Ah, I see. Its bad reputation spread, and that reputation eventually infected real soy sauce as well. So a part of the Japanese culture so big that they called it the drop of their soul had gone extinct. I didn't really get it. And it must have been extremely saddening to Madame Jean. Soy sauce was one of the things Madame Rose loved and wanted to see the Japanese people regain. Ah, yes. Why don't I tell you about 1948 now? This was 1 year after the formation of the Primavera family. It was a time when Madame Rose was running about, working to build an ideal society for her countrymen. to think of it. In one of your stories about Madame Rose, she was concerned about the circulation of soy sauce, wasn't she? That's right. You've got a good memory. Madame Rose began trying to alter the wages of her countrymen who worked as laborers. Her next priority was to improve the food culture, the sort of Japanese culture most familiar to the common man. And she did that with soy sauce? Do you mind if I turn on my voice recorder? Let's hold off on that until we finish eating. Diving into the main subject during a meal is part of Japanese culture which ought to be changed. Then, after the meal, Madame Jean began to speak. 1 year later in City 23 in the year 1948. This tale of the days of Madame Rose and guns. There we go! She said it! I can't believe... I'm just waiting for the day they say, like Jean or Julie or someone says, they truly were Rose Guns days. Oh wow, who's this? Oh God, what voice do I give you? A lone girl dashed through a grimy alleyway. Her feet were bare, and she was wearing nothing but worn-out underclothes. She ran as fast as she could, in fear of something behind her.
Did you see her over there? Damn that little bitch. Look what we get for trying just to be a little bit gentle with her.
No good. This alleyway is just no good. Alleyway Zendamida. I've got to go back and choose another alley. But if I do, I'll bump into the people chasing me.
There she is. I found the little brat.
The girl stumbled, knocked over a trash can, and fell into a pile of its contents. However, she immediately started crawling across the ground, scraping the junk off her as she dashed. She ran like a frightened rabbit, completely unconcerned about appearances. She ran and she ran. She ran so far away. She raced through the dark, dirty alley. It was bright at the other end. If she made it there, she might be able to get away. Or at least she had that sort of feeling. So she ran towards the light. Then she picked up speed to jump into that light. Her whole body turned pure white as she was lit up by a pair of headlights. In this clamoring government district of a city, there were unsurprisingly no neon lights to brighten up the night. This was Tokyo City 1, the headquarters of the Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, otherwise known as the GHQ. A single car stopped in front of the government office building and Butler got out.
Thanks for the lift, Rose John.
Oh my god! Whoa! Oh my god! Time time skip Rose is so beautiful. Oh my god. I love the rose on her jacket. Oh my god. Wow. It almost looks like a bit of a noose, the way her collar is. I wonder if that's supposed to be like symbolic or something. Oh my god. Wow, what a jacket. Oh my god. Wow. And her hair. Oh my god. So beautiful. No, the pleasure's mine. Thank you for your company today, Captain. It was normally illegal to park here, but the MPs didn't make a scene. Looking at this car, those guards, and Rose's dignified presence itself, it seemed like an almost natural privilege for them.
It was fun getting to see you after so long. Still, dang, you've really gotten a lot more dignified looking.
I will say, whoa!
The name Madame Rose didn't seem so out of place anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Didn't you want me to become like this?
Well, that's a bit more complicated. I did like the old pure innocent you. And it's somehow exciting to see a rose budding in darkness as it gradually blends in with the black.
Thank you. I'll take that as a wonderful compliment for me as I am now. And of course, I want to continue to treasure the beauty and purity of a rose.
But there's something all roses need to have.
Of course, thorns to match their beauty. I have no intention of losing those.
Wonderful. Give me the shivers. I could fall for you more and more.
Butler kissed Rose on the cheek and disappeared into the crowd of people entering and leaving the building. He was normally assigned the occupying forces in City 23, so he had no connection with the GHQ. However, he had personal connections with several high-ranking officers who did work at the GHQ. In short, his ambition probably couldn't be contained by City 23 alone. Sorry I had to cough for a second. However, he wouldn't be useful as a backer if he were any other way. Even the old showdown against Caleb wouldn't have been possible without the arrangements he had made with the GHQ. The stronger his connections were, the more it benefited Primavera. Of course, that was only true as long as Primavera benefited him. The relationship between Butler and Primavera had grown even tighter than before. As she gazed lazily at the nice lights through the car window, Rose suddenly noticed her face reflected in the window. Wayne-kun, do you think I've changed a bit?
You give off a dignified presence, fitting for one who stands at the top of C-23.
Hello, James. Welcome to the stream. Wayne has gone full fucking Kingdom Hearts. He looks like he could sprout a Keyblade at any second now. Oh my god. Wow. I love that everybody gets new clothes. Time skip. Wow! What the fuck is this business going on here? This collar. It looks so cool. Oh my god. Oh, anyone who wants to see the full body sprites, please check the Discord. Oh wow, yeah, that's right. You can see her dress is actually a rose as well. Like an upside down rose. That's just blooming. Just starting to bloom. It looks very dignified. Really, absolutely lovely dress. Wayne answered from where he sat in his suit in the passenger seat. Wayne had himself developed quite an impressive presence. Ever since that day when we announced the formation of the Primavera family, all of us have been reborn, I'll say. I can't wait to see what everyone else looks like. Even the once short-tempered Wayne-kun is wearing a suit. And though he was shy about it at first, I think he wears it pretty well now. It's strange, but people's hearts change when they change their outfits. I still have to change a lot more. This isn't even my final form.
I know. So do I, so do we. Unless we can change even more, he'll leave us all behind.
You've got a lot to learn too, or I won't be qualified to lead the way for everyone.
Look out!
In the dim road leading to City 23, a person suddenly appeared in their headlights. The white shadow had suddenly shot out from an alley. Someone let out a stifled scream at the same moment. A dull impact hit They ran her over! Oh god! The driver quickly stepped on the brakes and finally came to a stop, leaving tire marks on the road behind them. What happened? Did we hit someone? Oh, fuck. Is she okay?
Stay here, Rostan. I'll go take a look.
The car in front of them with the guards noticed the accident and came screeching to a stop. The guards all came running. Rose stayed inside the car as ordered, looking out the back window worriedly. Under the dim road lights, she could see a single girl lying on the ground. She didn't know why the girl had come running onto the road all of a sudden, but there was no doubt that they had hit her. I wonder where she got hit. I hope she's okay.
Wait, son! This woman suddenly jumped out and we hit her. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Don't tell me I survived all that just to get in frickin' jail for a hit and run. Hey there, miss. You okay?
They shook her, but she only seemed to moan slightly. However, they couldn't be sure she was okay unless they took her to a doctor. It would not do no one any good to have a rumor going around that Madame Rose had hit a girl and run. Of course, Rose would never even suggest leaving her behind.
Instead of calling an ambulance, it'd probably be faster if we take her to the hospital. Understood. Hey, grab her feet.
The guards tried to lift the girl up. Wayne took another look at her and frowned dubiously. She was wearing worn-out underclothing. On top of that, her feet were bare. Sometimes starving girls would dress up as pitiable as possible and try to earn sympathy. The guards seemed to be thinking this, but Wayne's keen nose told him something completely different. At that moment, several men appeared from the darkness she had left from. Time for the first fight of the sequel. Here we go.
Well, sorry to bother you guys. We're the other generic mooks that don't serve you. That little brat is with us. Our apologies if she's bothered you. Do you mind handing her over to us? Don't get any closer. Don't even try and approach me casually when I'm dressed up all night, scum. What's with this kid? You got a problem with us?
The men took knives out of their pockets and held them up to be seen. Oh, here we go. The classic anime confrontation of when they're fighting the hero and he's trying to avoid the confrontation, but the freaking generic mooks just can't resist a fight, and then they go down in one fucking hit.
You wouldn't want to get home this pretty close, would you? Put the bread down and scram. This is why I can't stand other cities. Stop trying to look cool and stop. Hey, wait a second.
As one man got caught up in the moment and aimed his knife at Wayne's forehead, his buddy grabbed his shoulder and stopped him. Because the guards that surrounded them are pointing cold gun barrels at them.
I'm so sorry. Just got caught up in the moment. Looks like you picked the wrong fight. Wayne-san, what should we do with them? Please spare me! I've just been without telling the guys at work. You're generic mooks, we're generic mooks, please spare us. Making some pocket change by selling the bodies of little girls. No, we were just giving food and shelter to a brat without a home and oh, my apologies. I must have misunderstood. In that case, we'll take over that job for you. Any problems with that? No, we couldn't ask you to. Do we shoot them? It'll be too loud here. Let's drop them somewhere else. Somebody help! Help!
The men raced each other as they ran away down the back alley. Wayne gave the signal for the guards to put down their guns and smiled. How terrible. Forcing her to sell her body like that. Oh, the cat wants to join in. Sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys.
We'll look for a nearby hospital. Please go back first, Rose-san.
Instead of searching, I think it'd be faster to carry her to the general hospital in City 23. I am Madame Rose, a leader of Ladies of the Evening. I cannot abandon a girl who was forced to sell her body without wishing it.
Figured you'd say that. Okay, carry her into the car.
It's okay. We can use this car. It's bigger for one thing. And I think it's better for her to look after another girl. Surely she hadn't been running around outside in her underwear of her own free will. Rose didn't like the thought of forcing her to be under the gazes of men while dressed like that. The girl was carried into the back seat where Rose was sitting. Rose rested the girl's head on her lap and wiped the dirt from her face with a handkerchief. Poor thing. But you'll be safe now. The girl didn't answer. Either she had fallen unconscious, or the strings of tension had snapped, sending her off to sleep. The whole time until they reached the hospital, Rose worried about her condition. Chapter 1. Oh, wow. Utopia 1948. How the fuck is Ryukishi separating these parts? Seriously. We're calling this chapter 1 now. God. I have no idea how much of even episode 2 was part of it is actually part of the first arc. And now like how much of episode 2 is going to be like the second actual arc here. Huh? Okay, it's a new, goddamn, what voice should I give her? Oh, God. Fuck berries. Let's see. God, let's see. I'll see more of what her personality is. We have barely seen her speak. I realized I was lying dazed on a bed with white sheets. I didn't feel quite the same as sleeping and then waking up. I had no idea how long I'd been here like this. It was as though I'd only realized that fact just now. She almost looks like she could be like Rose's little sister or something. Where am I? Timidly, I looked around. I was in a bed surrounded by sliding curtains. When I anxiously opened the curtain, I saw a row of several more beds. I saw IVs, wheelchairs, nurses dressed in white. The answer to my question was pretty darn obvious. This is a hospital. Ryukishi! Ryukishi! Really? 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 You're reusing backgrounds from Higurashi. Come on! Oh my god. This is the hospital. So this whole time I've been playing Sleeping Beauty on the hospital bed. But annoyingly, I didn't know what hospital this was. No, more importantly, I didn't know how long I'd been here or why I was staying here. I felt the thin blood vessels in my head get clogged with a chunk of memory, giving me a headache. I wonder if she has amnesia. Then one thing became immediately clear. Called it! Okay. Yeah, that will make total sense, because she is not going to know who she is, and that'll be the big mystery surrounding why those guys were after her, because most likely she's not just a simple poor girl. Oh my god, okay. Who am I? I was unable to remember something that obvious. Hold on. How could I not remember? What is my name? Or if not, how about where this is and how long I've been here? She got isekai into Rose Gun days. More importantly, did I have a wallet capable of affording a bed in such a magnificent hospital? Whoa. Headache. As soon as I tried to think. I think I might give her Jessica. Tell me, you guys can tell me if that, would fit her or not. As soon as I tried to think, it felt as if the blood vessels in my head really would explode. But it's even more unpleasant not to know anything. No matter how much my head hurts, I've got to at least remember something. when a doctor came by on his rounds and told me that I might be suffering temporary memory loss. Save the Jessica voice. Okay, thank you, apparition. I was finally able to sort out my situation. I spent half a day moaning and searching for fragments of memory. More Kingdom Hearts shit here, but nothing came back to me. I'll give her the lighter version of the French voice, I think. I really want to see what her personality is more like. And even though I was just minding my own business, suffering from extreme brain constipation, a bunch of noisy people came into the room. Oh my god, who are you? A little chibi version of Leo here.
See, told you it was this way. After all that going up and down stairs, I'm starving.
Oh my god. So many new characters. Okay. Let's see. God. Damn it. This looks like a classic Battler and frickin' Michelle voice.
Shut up and be quiet. You're slowing me down.
I'm assuming this is who you want me to use Jessica for. Wow, these character designs. Holy shit. The girl was clearly drawn by a different artist, but seriously, that is some gacha level detail on her sprite. Like hell. You're slowing us down more than anyone, Oliver. If you just ask at the front desk, I wouldn't even have to worry about being lost. Sheesh!
We're proud wolves, aren't we? Do wolves ask for directions?
I doubt they'd let a wolf in the hospital in the first place. Every bit of that half hour going up and down stairs. What was that thanks to Oliver's weird pride? Sheesh. Jeez Louise. I'm so hungry I may die. Take responsibility and buy me some Nikuman on the way home.
Shut up and be quiet. Buy it with your own money. We are proud wolves.
Wolves don't buy stuff and eat it right away. Hey, I'm trying to remember my own name here. Why are you being so noisy? Then of all things, the three of them came to the bed next to mine.
We're looking for the girl in this room. This must be her.
The Goyle. And we're looking at an old lady lying peacefully on her bed. Oh my god. She must have been fast asleep, since she didn't react to their noise in any way.
You're sure they didn't mean Granny?
Shut up!
Silence, fool!
Yep, I gotta use Michelle for him.
This is an expression that Wayne-san uses. He says girl when he means an old lady. Of course. Only I, the great Oliver, would know such a thing. I, the greatest assistant that ever lived. That's Wayne-san for you. He's so cool. He's my Aniki.
No way. I don't think so.
But she's sleeping, isn't she? Should we wake her up? What an uncouth child. At times like this, the manners of the noble wolf tell us to wait until she wakes up.
It's got nothing to do with wolves and you know it.
Wait, meaning how long? My stomach and back are gonna be squished together until I die. At any rate, we shall wait here until she wakes up. If you have any objections, feel free to leave. I, at least, will follow Wayne-san's order until the end. The greatest assistant that ever lived.
The tall young man named Oliver grabbed a nearby chair, plopped it down in it, took out a book and started to read. Seeing this, the short boy who kept complaining about being hungry sat down on the floor, his stomach rumbling. The girl scolded him for sitting on the floor. The young man yelled at them to shut up and be quiet. The boy's stomach kept rumbling. Oh, I'm going to be so unbelievably noisy! Then, for just an instant, my eyes met the girl through a gap in the curtain. Hey, Oliver! Mr. Genius here.
Shut up and be quiet. I'm reading. It's the story of a fool who got locked up for 19 years just for stealing a loaf of bread. It is a brilliant story called Los Miserables.
If I could get 19 years of food in the clink, I'd like to go there too.
Aren't you talking about Les Miserables?
What? Is that how you say it? Oh God, I've been very uncouth.
Through the cover of his book, my crime and punishment!
Shut up and be quiet. I was only testing you.
More importantly, look! Look! Crime and punishment is fantastic. The girl pointed at me. The young man's gaze crossed mine too. Isn't this the Goyle Wayne Sam was talking about?
Unbelievable.
Ah! She's right. It's a real girl.
Hey, that point is rude.
I'll go ask if she's really the girl Wayne song was talking about.
Go ask that noise. I can't trust all of her. Sheesh.
I'm not wrong. All of you are wrong.
They didn't seem to put much faith in their leader, Oliver. The boy grabbed a nurse in the hall, pointed this way, and talked with her for a bit. Then, for better or worse, it was revealed that the three noisy people were here to see me.
I'm Charles. Nice to meet you.
Hey, this is a hospital! Keep your voice down! Sorry about that. I'm Nina. I'm really sorry about these dolts being so noisy. She spoke Japanese in a very noticeable dialect. I was more or less able to make out what she said, but if I ever let my guard down, I'd lose track of what she was saying. Hello. A pleasure to meet you. They were so noisy that I still hadn't remembered my name when it came down to introduce myself. Still by now, I was so noisy and stupid that I couldn't really feel grave about anything.
I am Oliver, the greatest assistant that one should ever see. We came here to get you, in accordance with Wayne-san's orders. He's my Aniki. He's so great and so awesome. We've also heard that you lost your memory and have no place to live.
I realized that my memory was gone, but I also have no home. The shocking truth is almost as shocking as the casual way I've been told it. However, that name Wayne seemed vaguely familiar to me. That and Rose?
That's right. You got hit by Madame Rose's car. If you're trying to earn some cash by faking car accidents, you probably want to get a new job because you really suck at it.
That's a high-level job, since you need to get the angle just right.
It's way easier to steal some corrupt merchant's wallet instead.
Enough of your weird ideas! I'm sorry. These men are just incapable of politeness. Oh, no. That's, That was all I could manage to say. Later on, a doctor came and said there was nothing wrong with me except my missing memories. Apparently almost a week had passed since I had been rotten here. Really? Wow. Jeez. Going by what they said, this Wayne person was apparently the one who sent them to get me. And the boss of all these people was apparently named Madame Rose. Oh, typos. Apparently this lady thinks she had hit me with a car and has been worrying about it this whole time. If she hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to relax on these white sheets in such a good hospital until today. Anyway, we can't have you dressed like that forever. Come on, we gotta get you a real sprite with some awesome clothes. Look at us.
Wayne-san gave us some money and told us to pick you out some clothes.
What? That wasn't reward money? Oh crap. And I thought we got to eat a whole pile of Nikuman.
Shut up and be quiet. Did you really think he'd spend a $1,000 bill just for you to eat Nikuman? Oh. As Nina would say, geez Louise.
They took me outside and had me choose clothes at a wonderful boutique. Sorry, jeez. Or more accurately, I was treated like a doll. And then they handed the big dollar bill to the American shopkeeper, who spoke in fractured Japanese. She picked a matching outfit for me all on her own. These clothes are really nice, très magnifique. The money they had handed over to buy the clothes apparently didn't belong to them, but had been given to them by their boss. At that point, I realized they weren't just a band of street noisy people, but they were backed by someone of good financial status. Just who are these people? Who is Wayne-san? Who's Madame Rose? I mean, seriously, what's Primavera? And first of all, won't someone tell me my name? Hey, who am I? I'm just totally lost now. I've gotten past a mere headache and my head's throbbing and dizzy. She looks like Rose Jr. Where are we?
This is Primavera, place we've just been talking about. It's Madame Rose's club. Every time I look, I still can't believe how huge it is.
I tensed up reflexively. I was glad to be given beautiful clothing to wear, but now they have brought me to what's clearly a club for ladies of the evening. Don't tell me these people are planning to sell me away. Don't get the wrong idea. We wouldn't do that, don't worry. It's the other way around. You're gonna be a pimp. When you were about to be sold off to someone, the madam's the one who saved you.
This way. Follow me.
The front entrance was apparently for customers only. We went around to the back entrance. There we saw a truck being unloaded and a bunch of people chatting who appeared to be businessmen and workers at the club.
Huh? What are you brats doing? This isn't a playground.
Don't you know a main character when you see one? They always treat us like brats.
Bring Aniki Wayne here.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Tell him we brought the girl.
Before long, the young man who the kids adored and called Wayne-san appeared.
Well done. And the change from the clothes money? In this bag. A very nice outfit. Did you pick it out, Nina?
I only helped a bit. The person at that store has a great eye.
Okay then. Well done. Get some knee with this and go home.
Yes! Whoa, whoa! Can I buy some Nikuman? Aniki Wayne, you rock!
And because you accepted, that's why you got treated like a brat.
What's your brat care for? Brat calls him a brat, you brat! Brat, 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 brat. You're a brat too, aren't you?
How dare you? I'm not a brat, only you!
You both are! Stop trying to look cool and get out of here! So long, miss. See you later. The three of them were noisy until the end. As I stood there left all alone, Wayne-san signaled for me to follow him. I don't really get what's going on, but I've got to at least thank the person who rescued me. For now, I'll have to trust that those three aren't agents for a slaver. I was apparently in the backyard of this Club Primavera place. It was a nighttime establishment, so it probably wasn't open for business yet. There was no one to be seen except by the service entrance. We gotta see some of the new clothes for the other people. I really want to see. Eventually, we reached the main hall inside the club, which had a huge stage. It had a fantastical feel to it, like something out of a picture book. I had heard of the world of the night, but I'd never known what sort of place it was, so this was a huge culture shock. Businessmen went in and out, apparently changing the layout of the potted plants and furniture and so on.
Rose-san, I've brought the girl.
Rose-san. Is this the boss of the place, Madame Rose? She is a boss who rules the world of the night, so she must be some sort of crafty old lady. One of the women giving instructions to the businessman turned around. However, it was a sweet-looking woman, completely unlike the one I'd imagined. Oh, Wang-kun, thank you. Hello, I'm Rose. Have you remembered my name? Your name? Oh, she's wearing her old clothes. You are, I remembered seeing her. When I was suffering, I think she rested me in her lap and wiped my forehead with a handkerchief. Not whipped. Jeez. There's an extra H in that word there. The pieces of memory didn't come together neatly. But when I heard that she was the one who saved me, I felt like it might be true. I'm sorry. It seems I am in your debt, but I can't even introduce myself.
Is this the girl? She looks cute enough to use in the club.
I wonder. That doesn't look like the face of someone who's known a man, does it? Stop that, Stella! She's our guest. You mustn't say things like that.
Still, her hair is really lovely. It's a shame it's so dry, though.
I can't really do her voice well yet. God damn it. They say that long hair hides all defects.
Then wouldn't you have to go use another meter to hide all of them?
Oh my god. Jeez. Be quiet for a second, you two! I'm sorry about the noise. The three who brought me here sure were noisy, and so are these women. I wonder if everyone involved with Primavera is this noisy. Still, it felt as though some of the tension had faded away. They couldn't have built up this sort of atmosphere unless they were easygoing. At the very least, I'm pretty sure now that this isn't a den of evil filled with slavers. I was invited to sit down and given a dazzling drink that really looked like it belonged in a nighttime establishment. Then Madame Rose told me about the time I got hit by a car. That I had probably been chased by slavers. How the Madame's car had hit me while I tried to escape. Now that was the most likely cause of my memory loss. Incredible. I guess things that sound like they came out of a novel really do happen.
Is memory something she can get back if she wait?
God damn it, I cannot do her voice. Fucking hell. Hold on a second.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, whatever. That's closer than it was before. Is memory something she can get back if she just waits?
Well, the doctor said that we could just wait, and that putting her in an environment she was familiar with might help. It sounds like it'd be best to let it do its work, time do its work, and give her a chance to recover slowly. Oh, it actually says change, but it's a big chance. Damn, so many typos. It wasn't pleasant to think about. But the memory I'd lost probably wasn't anything it'd be fun to regain. Something that led to me being chased by shady-looking men, barefooted in my underwear. It didn't really seem like something I'd eagerly want to remember. I may have been graced with 2 fortunes, being saved by this kind woman and losing my memory. If it's okay with you, then please take it easy in City 23 until your memory comes back. That's, thank you very much, Madame Rose. Still, it's a little inconvenient if you can't remember your name.
Oh boy, I got this. Why don't we give you a temporary name until your memory comes back?
After all, by losing your memory, you've got yourself cut off from your past. If only for a time.
Oh, I got it. How about Meryl Jr.?
Really?
Yeah.
I think it'd be wonderful to think of it like being reborn and given a new name. Sounds good to me. And we can just change it once you remember your real name. Can you think of any words or things that you like? That's one heck of a request, considering I got no memory. I had nowhere to turn inside my mind, especially for something as important as deciding my name. Nothing's come to me right away. If it's okay with you, would you mind giving me a name, Madame Rose? Huh? Me? I can think of the old me as having died in the accident. So, since I was able to stay alive thanks to her, you might as well say she gave me life, my life. Well then. That hair of yours is really long and beautiful. I wonder if I can link it to a name somehow. Rapunzel! Long hair. How about Stella Jr.?
Really? Really?
Why not?
Doesn't having long hair just make it a pain to deal with?
You'd rather just cut it right off and use the spare time for a nice long drink after a bath, right?
Maybe you should use it one of the time you spend your hair to clean your room a little.
Rapunzel! That's the name of the girl with really long hair, right? Oh, wow. Rapunzel. That's the girl from one of the Grimm's fairy tales, right, isn't it?
Joshiki.
What does Joshiki mean? Did they forget to translate that? What? Wait, what? What the fuck? I'm really confused about that. Okay! Until you remember your name, you're Rapunzel. How about Zal for short? Maybe one day they can make a video game about you. It was a temporary name, so I had no complaints. Interestingly, just being given a name seemed to clear some of the fog in my mind. Thank you for so much. Then from now on, I'll introduce myself as Zal.
A pleasure to meet you, Zell. Although I gotta say, you missed out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be called Meryl Jr. I'm Meryl. Call me if you ever need anything.
I'm Stella Mayogi. If you ever feel like taking a job here, I'll work you hard. We'll see. Being a lady of the evening is the ultimate service industry. I can't say for sure, having no memory at all. And all. But I seriously doubt I've mastered any skills for entertaining men. Thank you, T. I wonder why they didn't translate that. So Joshiki means common sense. Thank you, T. I didn't know how long it would take for my memory to return, but they said I wouldn't have to worry about living expenses until that happened. Oh my god, Zarmegas. Oh god. Because of that, I felt I ought to help out someone to return the favor. Yeah, hilarious, Zarmegas. They could name her Rosa. Nobody named in honor of Madame Rose could possibly be a bad person. Oh my god. Hilarious. Because of that, I felt I ought to help out somehow to return the favor. Still, I had no confidence that I could work as a lady of the evening. Hey, Wayne-kun. Have you thought of a place for her to stay?
More or less. I know some kids about her age. I'll bet they'll look after her. They could have a whole freaking comedy show. It will be like a sitcom in their apartment.
I'm sorry, but we're going to open the club soon. I hope we can have a nice long meal soon together, Zal. Yes, ma'am. You've really done so much for me, and I'm truly grateful. If you feel that way, why don't you pay us back with your body one of these days? Oh, come on, Stella. Look at how young she is.
Don't you force her into this. Our world isn't one you can walk into half-assed.
If you want, drop by the club to play. I think you'll see it isn't the kind of bad place you're scared it is. Was I that obvious? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think the softer French voice works for her, at least so far. Apparently she had seen right through me. I went red and hung my head. We seemed to be relatively close in age, so I've been extremely frank with her, but no, I think she's quite a bit older than you. Afterwards, I learned that she was an incredibly powerful person. That didn't happen until a bit later, though. Ladies of the evening walked into the main hall one after another, in dazzling outfits. Oh, yeah, I gotta read James's comment.
Our world isn't one you can walk into half-assed.
Oh, but Meryl, you have no ass at all, and you're doing just fine, unlike me.
String bean!
Short stack. Oh my god. Thank you, James. She said the club would be opening soon. It was time for outsiders to leave. See you later then. There might be a lot to get used to, but try and take it easy, okay? Thank you very much, Madame Rose. I won't forget what you've done for me.
Rapunzel, this way.
I was already being called by my new name. I went out to the backyard with Wayne's on. The music, used to set an elegant tone, began to play, and Club Primavera's night appeared to finally be beginning. I'll just make a save for the heck of it. When we left, it was already neon nighttime in the city. In this season, when you can forget the summer heat and fall is finally here for good, it starts getting darker earlier. Apparently that sense of the seasons was something I remembered. I guess memory loss isn't an all or nothing thing.
I'm Wayne, Rosestone's bodyguard.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking care of me today.
Is this your first time in City 23?
Probably. Sorry, I don't know.
I'll bet. Stupid question to ask. It's gotten a lot better lately, but still isn't high class enough for a woman to walk around alone at night. If you get into any trouble with someone, tell them I'm taking care of you. That'll probably put a stop to it.
Oh, he just casually said something pretty cool. Does that mean this got a pretty big name in this city? True enough. So he wore a suit like a young person. It was of the best quality. Even this car was a luxury car. Way too fancy for a mere bodyguard to be driving around. I may have been lost and confused. But I get the feeling I might be in the care of some pretty incredible people. I hit the jackpot! What should I do next?
I'll go get you a temporary place to sleep. You can live there however you like. Rosestone said you can stay however long it takes for your memory to come back.
But that way it puts out the way. It made me want to remember everything quick to spare them the trouble. Yeah, I think the younger French voice fits her. If you guys can think of any of my voices I've used earlier that fit her better than that, I am totally open to suggestions. I wonder if it'll all just pop back into my head once I've had a good sleep. Then if I turned out to be the daughter of someone who owned a diamond mine, we could offer Madame Rose a huge reward or something. Not like that'd ever happen. What are the chances somebody important gets amnesia? Or I could turn out to be the final boss or something, I don't know.
Rosestone wouldn't want to do anything to trouble you. She sympathizes with your situation from the bottom of her heart.
I understand. She has the eyes of a good person.
Her kindness always comes with no strings attached. Now don't worry.
At the very least, he seemed to trust Madame Rose from the bottom of his heart. Yes, it's true that the memory loss has made me anxious, but that is no reason to doubt their kindness. If they really were bad people, they would have tied me up back at the club, sold me off, and had done with it. After driving around a bit, the car stopped in a dimly lit and not particularly prosperous looking shopping district. I first used it in whatchamacallit, Seabed. And I used like a rougher version of it for Jackery and Mayuzumi. But yeah, I don't think I've used the softer version of it since the original in Seabed.
Like I use this one for Mayuzumi and Jakuri, but this one is better for her, I think. A signboard told me that this was a store for musical instruments, but it also seems to have been empty for some time. Is this a music store?
It used to be. Kind old man ran it, but he died and the store closed. When his wife left Tokyo, she gave the store to us. It's basically an apartment now.
When they entered through the back door, sure enough, there was no music store, but instead the traces of everyday life. There was laundry, which was still hanging up to dry at this hour, and hung in a really messy style, too. Trash and empty bottles were piled up on the side of the door, as though someone was always planning to throw them out tomorrow. It looked like the sort of cheap temporary apartment that a poor student who had come to Tokyo from the countryside might have lived in. No, that's probably too kind of a description. It was a dump. It looked like a sports-minded room, with no attempt made at neatness and order.
Oliver, are you there? There's a room ready.
He called out as he climbed the stairs, but there was no reply. Instead, there were clattering, dunking sounds, as though someone was moving out of the house.
Ah! I was looking for this. That sure takes me back.
That's trash, ain't it? Isn't it? Throw it away.
It's not trash. These are all treasure to me.
If it's treasure, why don't you try putting it away? The same thing can be treasure if you keep it neat. But a mountain of trash if you just keep it leave it lying around.
It's amazing that the floor never fell through before now. Hey, put that over there. Still, why did you put this off until today? Haven't I always told you to clean up?
If talking could clean up anything, then I'd talk every day.
You tell us to clean up like you're so important. Then you just lie back and read a book.
I'm always busy with my studies. That's why I leave the cleaning up to those who have nothing better to do. The plebeians who live around here.
What the heck? I'd really like to hear what brilliant accomplishments you made thanks to those noble studies of yours.
This pile of secondhand books is all stuff you bought and never read, right? So why don't you clean them up?
Seriously? I love her already. You're really getting on my nerves.
I can't understand a word through that dialect of yours. Balderdash. Learn how to speak proper Japanese.
I'll show you proper Japanese. Sayonara. What you say? It's not proper Japanese. It's the Tokyo dialect, that thing you do. It's only you Tokyo people who think all of Japan revolves around Tokyo.
Stop jumping around, you're kicking up dust.
See what I tell you, it's your very own sitcom. You'll get to be the new girl who cleans everything up and shows them you're such a good person. And eventually, all the boys start looking after you, and maybe the girls if you're lucky. And you become a freaking centerpiece of their lives by the end of the show. Which is when everybody leaves and they turn off the lights and the audience claps and maybe sheds a tear.
You have thought a lot about this.
It's a hobby.
The three noisy people were clattering about, cleaning up the dust, trash, and junk-filled room, even though it was still late at night. I'd rather not think about it, but I hope we're not walking into a scene of them getting my room ready.
You're pretty noisy so late at night. Ah, Nikki Wayne's here! I thought I told you to get a room ready for her.
Sacre bleu.
Sorry. I did tell him to clean up, but...
Oh, you should talk! You've just been standing around reading books!
But Aniki, we have cleaned it up a lot. Look, it's even clean enough to lie down in.
So you weren't even able to set up a futon. Give us an extra hour and we can do that. Sure.
20 minutes more and we'll throw in sweeping and dusting too. No extra charge.
I'm not paying you to do this at all.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It really is the girl from the hospital. See, I told you.
I apologize for the mess. These guys will be taking care of you. Or, as the situation seems, maybe vice versa. They know a lot about this city. I'll take care of all your needs.
And Rapunzel. I'd be happy if you called me Zen. Great! You remembered your name.
It's a temporary name Madame Rose gave her.
But I like it.
Rapunzel, forgive us, but could you give us a little more time? We'll try to at least make it bearable for tonight.
We did grow up in back alleys after all.
Are these three the kids that Wayne was talking to in that one side story in the first part? I'm sorry. I grew up sleeping on piles of trash and fishing through them. So we sort of suck at cleaning stuff. But hey, look at these schnazzy duds we got now. I look like a freaking heroine from an isekai.
We aren't rats anymore. We're humans. It's only natural for humans to live in orderly rooms.
I didn't know if they really had been raised in back alleys like they claimed. However, advancing was clear at a glance. They didn't know the first thing about cleaning or putting stuff away. They tried taking things that were high up and moving them down, or else stacking things in a pile. They might be trying their best to clean up in their own way, but they weren't making any progress.
I'm sorry, but please wait a bit longer.
No, I can't do that. I readied myself and rolled up my sleeves. You see, now is the time I endear myself to them by cleaning up the entire house. And they say, Val, we cannot live without them. Sorry. Didn't catch that one in time. And then we will become best friends, like you said. And we will all share heartwarming and funny sitcom moments. I was just thinking that it didn't suit my personality to be a freeloader who just sat around doing nothing. And anyway, this travesty probably isn't limited to this room. If this is going to be my room, I'd better give it my all. Or it's more like, I finally figured out my place in all this. I stepped briskly into the room and began giving quick directions. They really did seem to know none of the basics of cleaning up, and they faithfully imitated my every move like a bunch of chicks following their mother. Ooh, this is actually sort of fun. If I was still alone in the hospital now, I probably would be getting crushed with uneasiness about my memory loss by now. In that sense, I must be pretty lucky right now. Since I have no memory, it means the old me and the new me are different. So it's like the old me died and I started a new life. In that case, whether I have fun life or not depends on how hard I work right now. And so my strange new life, which is totally the title of our sitcom, without my memory, began in this corner of Tokyo now known as City 23. The big cleanup stretched from my room to the hallway, to the public area, and even to the rooms of the three others. I had dust hurting my throat, ticks in my skin, oh God, and was almost impressed that I'd ever managed to live like this. However, now that was all in the past. And there you have it! What do you think, everyone? Magnifique, no? Now this is what they call cleaning. And then the audience gives a laugh track.
I never knew it was so bright on the second floor.
I was sure this house didn't have any windows.
It's so big! Someone could even live in the hallway. And the floor is so smooth. I could slide on it. You could lie down on it. That's so relaxing. Oh yes, absolutely, Mr. Ruth. Rapunzel's strange new life, yes.
Still, think of all the junk we had.
I still can't believe it. We made such a huge pile in the trash bin.
Still, feels kinda nice to have a house that's so clean.
I agree. My head feels all clear.
Oh my god, I just realized something. Unless this is a Japanese custom. Like, it looks like his book is upside down. Given that the barcode is like usually on the bottom, but it's on the top here. Is this showing that he's not actually reading his books? Oh my god, that's hilarious. Right. That's a clean house for you. When your house grows stagnant, then so does your fortune. If you clean and tidy up your house, your fortune goes way up. Well, you know a little bit of feng shui. I sort of feel like it is. Feels like something good will happen today.
You're a cleaning master, Zell.
I am no master. This is just normal.
That's not true. You're awesome. I've always dreamed of living in a clean house like this. Whoa!
They ran and jumped excitedly around the new polished house, rubbing their faces on the furniture. These people really do act like dogs despite their age. I mean, they look like kids. They look like teenagers. And I have no idea how old Zell is. I would guess like what? 13? Maybe? 14? I don't know. The big clean had taken several days. However, those days had become a great chance to get to know them. first, it seemed like they really were orphans who grew up in a back alley, like they claimed. Apparently, they had lost their families in the Great Disaster and were forced to literally eat dirt in the past. However, they were so tough they didn't seem to think of this as something unpleasant. These were the times we lived in. You wouldn't be able to get by if you weren't that tough. They seemed to be positive about everything. So I ended up scolding them throughout these few days for their bad living habits. Really? That's crazy, Mystery Theater. Oh yeah, the other kids, but Zell seems like... The other kids do seem older. Yeah, I would say they're like 16, but Zell seems like she's 13 or 14 at most. I also learned that they had a lot to learn from them. When it's this clean, it makes me want to turn it into an even more wonderful house. Well, we threw the curtains away because they were moldy. Why don't we use this chance to do a little remodeling? Then again, money. Oh, this can be our first episode, a second episode, where we remodel the house and we do crazy tasks to get money for new furniture. But in hilarious ways, we fail all the tasks and make everyone laugh. But in the end, our old pal Vane comes in with money for new furniture, or even Madame Rose. And everyone goes awe in the audience, and we all hug and sit on the furniture laughing. I think you're taking this sitcom thing a bit too far, Zal. No! I will have my sitcom. Rapunzel's Strange New Life will be the hit show on the Disney Channel.
That won't be a problem. Oh, I guess I was told to take Zell to the office about that matter.
Anyway, we spent all our time cleaning and none of it celebrating, right?
Celebrating? Celebrating what?
Zell, obviously. She's our roommate, isn't she? Her friend, right?
Got that right. She's a friend living under the same roof. If we're getting some money, there's nothing wrong with letting us have a feast tonight, is there? Normally, it's healthier and cheaper to cook for yourself as much as possible, but events like these are important for good fortune. It seems like a lot of her stuff is related to fortune telling. That's one theme that she keeps on harping on, so... Interesting.
You think about fortune a lot, don't you, Zell?
Luck's important. People who lose that end up dead, right? Even Aniki Wayne said that.
Well, we survived this long, so maybe we got that to think. Fortune isn't something that brutal. You can affect it as much as you want by changing your attitude. If we put in the effort, we can make our lives as fun as we want to. And then that is where the audience goes, oh.
Intriguing.
Well, there's no doubt that our fortunes changed a lot since you came here.
Her house is brighter and bigger. I've been having fun ever since you got here, which has been like 2 days, but still.
Though it'll only last until her memory returns. Until that time, you can live here, and we'll count you as a friend.
Thank you, Oliver. In that case, everyone, we've got a lot to do today. Lots of stuff to buy.
We must go to the office.
I know a place that'll give us as much delicious Nikumon as we want. Let's go there to celebrate, Zal.
Okay, let's go do it all. Oh, okay, so I think we're gonna end with these three. Okay. Madame Rose is apparently taking care of my living expenses. The more I learn, the more certain I become that she's a truly incredible woman. Myogi office. Hello, Princess of Balance. Welcome to the stream. We were headed to the Myogi offices. I'd heard that this luxurious building was the office used by Club Primavera. Apparently, if I was going to be picking up my life expenses there for the time being. I feel really guilty about all everyone is doing for me.
When somebody helps you, accept it without holding back.
And when it's your turn to help someone else, do it without holding back. Those are Aniki Wayne's words.
You all respect Wayne-san a lot, don't you? It's not just respect. To us, he's a boss, a dad, a Aniki.
To put it simply, he's a living legend.
That legendary man, along with Leo and the Madam, defeated Father Caleb all by themselves.
Wayne-san also defeated Crazy Alfred. If Leo Shishigami was a legendary man, then Wayne-san truly is a living legend.
He's someone we back alley rants can't help but look up to. The three of them passionately told me about Wayne-san's many feats. Oh yeah, that's right. It sounded like they were embellishing it a lot, so I took it with a grain of salt. But I could clearly see how much they respected him. However, as I listened to them, a thought popped into my head. These Club Primavera people didn't seem to be honest businessmen exactly. Getting involved in feuds and gunfights wasn't a job for a nighttime establishment. This was totally a story of the criminal underworld. Could it be that these people were some sort of street gang in the service of the mafia?
There's the office.
Ooh. The street was lined with black luxury cars. Of course, there were also old guys in sunglasses who certainly didn't seem to have an honest profession, all of whom were glaring in around them.
Huh? Is someone here?
There's Mononobe-san. Oh, Kanogi himself. The grand boss is probably here.
Just as I'd expected. There's no need to be scared. They're all nice people, although we did try to kill them at him like last year, but who's counting?
You brats! You want me to train you to become freaking Gauntlet Knights?
Hello there, Mononobe-san.
The three bowed in greetings to this creepy-faced Mr. Mononobe. Clearly looked like a mafia leader.
Is the boss here? He'll be done soon. You have some business here?
Wayne-san told us to come to the office.
I see. The boss will be on in a moment. Wait here for a bit.
I see. As there's a big mafia boss visiting. These guards are probably defending the outside of the building and making sure no ordinary people go inside. Oh, wow. Oh my god. Cyrus looks so schnazzy. Oh my god. Wow. Eventually, a big man in a suit came out of the office. Is that the boss? He's the grand boss of the Primavera family, Cyrus Simora. Really? He gets to be the boss? Yeah, he definitely looks the part of a big mafia boss. Like a man who could decide a person's life or death with a snap of his fingers. No. That face looks like someone who's cut at least 100 people with his own hands.
I'm counting on you, partner. I'll be back.
Indeed.
Oh, Richard doesn't get new clothing. God damn it.
Take good care of things on your end too. Couldn't play at being mafia like this without your leadership.
I'm not so well suited for it, though.
Yeah, I think the body looks a bit too big for the head. But yeah, I agree with that, but I think the suit still definitely looks nice.
I fit a lot better when I was serving tea as the typewriter in this tiny office.
That goes for both of us. I'd rather quit being a moneylender and focus on childcare.
Tell you just that I.
You've become quite spoiled lately. It's a real handful.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Maurice. Let's go. Yes, boss. Let's go, man.
The stern-faced men piled into their cars. The large boss also got into a luxury car, followed by his guards. Whoa! He's always so cool.
I won't be treated like a brat forever. Eventually I'll make my way to the top.
Got a lot of growing up to do before we get that kind of dignified presence, though. We're like the next generation, the Primavera. I want to build a legend like Annie Wayne and the boss and become big myself. I'm Chibi Wayne.
Don't yet. We can go inside now, can't we? Let's go.
The calm-looking man who had spoken with the grand boss was still standing in the entrance, watching the cars leave. When they saw us coming, the guards standing behind the man stuck their hands into their pockets and stepped forward.
Who are you? Oh, excuse me, you have a wonderful voice. Wayne-san told us to come here. Ah, Wayne's kids. Your voice is quite pleasant to listen to as well. Is she the girl named Rapunzel?
Ah, yes. My name is Rapunzel. It's a pleasure to meet you.
This is Richard Mayuki-san, the family's consigliere.
Consigliere. The head planning officer of the family who advises the madam. He's as important as the grand boss.
I merely handle the bookkeeping. I am hardly important to myself. If something were to be that important, it would be the contents of the safe that I guard. But let's not talk while standing. Chop chop. Enter. Cyrus just brought in a pot of tea. His tea is absolutely delicious even when it cools. You all should have some too.
I know, Mystery Theater, I know. Oh, God. I can't believe it happened so early. The Grand Boss really is obsessed with tea, isn't he?
His tea is supposed to be a treat only tasted by a few of his most powerful bosses. This is truly an honor.
Wonder if they'll have snacks too. I'm starving already.
Weren't you waiting just a second ago? Sheesh. We had been invited into the Myogi offices. Then, while drinking some tea that was supposedly the Grand Boss Seymour's original blend, I was asked to sign several English documents.
Rose told me about you. I hear you've lost your memory.
That is right. But there's no point worrying too much about it. So I'd like to start by looking forward.
Excellent. The young A are truly magnificent. Rose told me to provide you with living expenses for the time being. On paper, you will be considered as working at one of the Primavera's establishments, and receiving a salary for your services.
Despite having heard that, being told to sign a bunch of papers in a language I couldn't read was terrifying to me on the inside. But if I'm signing something that gives them permission to take out my organs while I'm still alive?
There was once a man who said that exact same thing. There, that man left Japan after building a legend in the span of a single night.
Wait, you don't mean...
Indeed. I'm speaking of Leo. He said the same thing while being asked to sign the same papers.
Whoa! If you said the same thing as that legend, you must be a force to be reckoned with yourself.
How surprising. So the legendary Leo Shishigami couldn't read English. His English was truly horrendous.
Sorry, I had to cough again.
I'm a penis as far as he ever got.
Your conversation was so amicable that my fear of those papers began to fade. Ah, to hell with it. I don't remember it, but I escaped from slavers once already. If these guys are slavers too, I just need to run away again.
Thank you. Also, I have a message for Rapunzel from Rose. She wants to know if you'd be interested in sharing a meal with her on Sunday.
A meal with Madame Rose, you say? Whoa! Wonder what they'll be serving. What, a whole roast calf? Or a Manchu Han Imperial feast?
Dumbass! Sorry. Dumbass. She only invited Zal, not us.
Madame Rose is a busy person. She must have set aside some of her precious time for you. Be grateful.
I've already been given a bed and living expenses, thanks to her kindness. There's probably no reason to refuse. And anyway, I'm just starting to figure out who these people are. I'll ask her straight up what Primavera is all about. The Dawn Shopping District. It's supposed to be a wonderful shopping district lined with recently opened stores. Strolling around while thinking about what you want to buy is a great way to raise your fortune. The Dawn Shopping District. That's what was written on the recently built billboard arch. It was a pleasant and flourishing shopping district, lined with several newly built shops. I was also very surprised to see that the line of shops were all run by Japanese people. These days, the shops in Tokyo were always run by Americans or Chinese people. Japanese shops were supposedly in the process of being driven out of business. In modern Tokyo, it's extremely rare to see a whole shopping district filled with only Japanese shops. City 23 really is wonderful, isn't it?
It is now.
Just a year ago, the city was being run by this nasty guy called Caleb.
It was? It was a terrible time. City 23 was on the voyage of destruction for a while.
Thanks to Madame Rose, the city has been revived.
To think that the city got this lively in just 1 year. I still can't believe it.
So these days, City 23 is getting rebuilt with all the vigor of a sunrise. Just like the name of this shopping district. I think I can understand. Or is she gonna turn out to be some kind of like someone super important? I bet she is. Well, it's like some kind of, or even like some kind of magical god or something who's lost her memory. And she'll decide the fate of Primavera and everyone in City 23. Because everyone has been so nice to her. I can feel enormous fortune about this place. I can tell by the people's faces. This city has hope. However, according to them, just a single year ago, the city was run to waste, and nearly all the shops disappeared. Apparently, Madame Rose was the one who rebuilt from all that. That sweet-looking woman, who didn't seem that much older than me, had achieved such an incredible accomplishment. I was surprised to see her in charge of such a magnificent club, but this was even more surprising. Just what sort of city is City 23? And who in the world is Madame Rose? So, how about this door? It looks pretty nice. Shall we have a peek? We found a shop selling curtains. Our old curtains were so bad that no amount of washing could have helped, so we threw them away. Without curtains, a room doesn't have a sharp divide between day and night. Being able to clearly separate your daytime and nighttime lives is an essential part of raising our fortune. After all, isn't that right? Do you really think fortune will come to people who let day and night toss them about, without trying to create any sort of schedule.
I get it.
Yeah, she is obsessed with fortune.
So that's why something always seemed a bit off about our lifestyle until now.
Someone really into feng shui.
Though it seems a bit dubious that a few curtains can really turn your fortune around.
It does, doesn't it? Then why don't you let yourself get tricked one more time? Like when we clean the rooms. You see how wonderful it is to open the curtains and be bathed in morning sunlight.
It does sound intriguing.
I wish I could be like that. I want to get some awesome curtains. It's curtains for me.
All of that. If you don't pick out some curtains you like, Sal and I will just end up choosing for you. You wouldn't want some cute curtains with flowers on them, would you?
This has ceased to be amusing. I will pick two.
Apparently they had never thought of spicing up their lifestyle by customizing it to fit their own personal theme. It was only natural. So far, the goal of their lifestyle had been to survive until the next day, and only barely. But it's different now, and they have me now, and they have me now. If they had accepted me as a friend, it's because they want to find some sort of happiness by having me here. That is what I think. We visited several other stores, buying lots of stuff to decorate our lives. I was truly grateful to Madame Rose for giving me enough money to buy all these things.
Who would believe that city could bring him back so far?
You left the city just about 1 year ago, didn't you? That's right. Caleb had chewed the city to bits, and I was sure it was done for. And what do y'all think now? Do you think it's become one of the few Japanese cities in Tokyo? It seems like they called a district a city. I came back ready to be scammed. Just look at how much it's changed. It's like I'm dreaming.
It's all thanks to Primavera. Can you believe it?
Later that evening, we despised for making dough and sucking up those American troops. The ones who saved this city. I heard bits of conversations like this from the people they passed. It's like the city really was on the point of destruction just a year ago. And Madame Rose of Club Primavera saved it. What on earth did Madame Rose do? How did she revive this city when bad people almost destroyed it once?
Madame Rose took it upon herself to solve several problems in order to save the Japanese country.
And the biggest one was raising wages for laborers, hint hint, for everyone in the modern world.
It just happened all of a sudden one day. Just we'd normally be able to get $200 for a day's work, or something offering $400.
Laborers aren't fools. When jobs with high wages appear, that's where they'll go.
In other words, can't employ people anymore at the cheap wages they used to have. After forming the Primavera family, Madame Rose established even stronger connections with the occupying forces. Through Butler, she even gained a friendly relationship with the City 23 Director General. Another friendly relationship with Don McDowell became a huge weapon as well. Madame Rose succeeded in quickly obtaining the special offers windows, involved with a large proportion of City 23's public works projects. The special offers window was truly an aristocrat. Why did it all do that on its own? Come on. It's truly an aristocratic privilege. A means of snatching up large sums of money by simply passing jobs onto lower-ranking parties. Hordes of corrupt politicians and depraved bureaucrats, members of the criminal underworld, has used this to suck up piles of cash. By shifting responsibility in this way, the end result was suffering for our Japanese countrymen laborers in the form of low wages. In other words, if the holder of the special offers window didn't exploit it, the budget for the project would be fully reflected in the lower level laborers' wages. As a result, they succeeded in creating a utopia where laborers had double their previous wages. This became a powerful counter in restoring City 23 after the Caleb family devastated the foundations for living in the city. Rumors spread, and the people who left City 23 returned one after another. When money gathers, people gather. Where people gather, shops gather, and vigor gathers. And so in a mere year, the city succeeded in regaining the bustle it had lost, and maybe even more besides. As a result, City 23's exploitative wage system was destroyed. Bye, Mystery Theater. That meant that the advantages of City 23 special offers window disappeared, and its value plummeted. When the holders of the other special offers windows could no longer bear this, Madame Rose made contact with them through Don McDowell. She bought up special offers windows one after another, and in the end, she was able to gain possession of the majority. Wow. Of course, this also resulted in the transfer of a full 100 million Japanese dollars. Whoa! However, by now, Primavera had used its solidarity with the occupying forces to gain influence and access to large amounts of credit. The wealth they possessed was on an entirely different level. That's insane. Influence and wealth. Of course, the force they wielded as the Mafia, known as the Primavera family, was not to be forgotten. The final power they used to protect their countrymen was the courage to shed their own blood without fear. Caleb's elite troops from the front lines, starting with that Maurice Mononobe, went on to become Primavera's elites. Thanks to Cyrus Saimura, a man with years of experience putting ruffians into line, these men formed a united front. The three powers Caleb had once spoken of: influence, wealth, and force. By gaining these three, Madame Rose had created a utopia in this city. This utopia was causing a definite influence on other cities too. Once they heard about high-wage jobs, laborers would no longer settle for heavy labor for low wages. It was said that laborers in other cities were starting to raise their voices, demanding treatment similar to City 23. This would prove to be inconvenient for the special offers window holders in other cities. The journey to reach Madame Rose's ideals is still going to be long and hard. However, it was impossible to see that I missed the bustle of this day. Madame Rose really is an incredible person. I thought of her in a friendly way, like she was someone I could probably get along with. But what an amazing person she is. I get the feeling my legs will be trembling the next time I meet her. Finally, Chinatown. Okay, you guys. This went on a bit longer than I thought. I think I'm gonna click this and we'll probably save this one for next time. But let me just read the description first. The chaotic figure of Chinatown is simply overwhelming. Apparently this is where Charles' favorite Nikomon shop is. Okay, you guys. Well, this really now feels like a brand new story arc. Damn. Holy fuck. Okay, you guys, we're off to a pretty good start. Really focusing on a bunch of new characters, which answers the question that I posed in the beginning of the story. When most everyone's character arc seems complete, how are they going to continue? By introducing a fuck ton of new characters, of course. That's how. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. This will continue on Thursday, and on Tuesday I'll have some more Remember 11 for you. Hopefully I'm back at 100% by then, but if this time compared to the last 2 times is any indication, it's getting better. So until next time, I will say, so long, farewell, with the same good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.